Hey everybody, my name is Dave Sheehan, plant-based triathlete, and this is vlog number 11 of my Diary of a Plant-Based Athlete series. So I hope you've been tuning in all the way along. If this is your first time, thank you for checking out this particular vlog. It's a particularly special one because it's about race day. I just completed TriLiverpool this past weekend, and this is dedicated to that, this particular vlog. What I did that day, race after race, as well as the week leading up to it, because in these vlogs, that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing my training, I'm sharing my nutrition, about mindset, and everything else that comes together in terms of achieving one's goals in the sport of triathlon as a plant-based athlete, particularly because that's what I want to do, is show how it can be done at a high level as a plant-based athlete, but also for anyone who wants to achieve anything in endurance sports or just know a bit more about plant-based living. And that's why during these I'll also bust a few myths as well. So it was a wonderful experience. In terms of a race is never easy, it's always challenging in many ways, and I'll go through that shortly. But the main thing is I completed it, and I got this, which matters a lot to me, because I did achieve a PB, and achieved a PB overall, but also for an Olympic race, but also in the cycle part and in the run part. So I was really delighted with that. So again, it's the most important medal I've so far. But let me just start by last week. In terms, again, the summary of the week, it was my final week leading up to the race. Whenever the race week, I only do active rest. What does active rest mean? Active rest means you keep moving, you keep exercising, but you do it at a low level. When you're training all the way towards a goal, towards a race, you go intensively. So you push your body, and as I'm always stressing, intensity, progression, muscle confusion. You need to incorporate these always to achieve the results. So you're always trying to push yourself to get faster and faster and faster in each of the three disciplines, and how to combine them better then as well. But in the week of the race, it's just a case of doing a little bit of light swimming, a little bit of light running, light cycling, stuff like that, maybe little combos, but nothing serious. My most important thing last week leading up to the race was yoga and stretching, because the looser I felt, the better I could do on the day. And as I've shared in previous vlogs, I've had a lot of kind of issues with my neck and my spine, my lower back. So, I really need to make sure I was right for race day, and especially at my earliest start ever at 8:45 a.m. for the particular wave that I was in. So, took it easy, made sure I allowed sleep all the way up to Saturday night. Think about it as early as I'd like, but it wasn't too late. Then next morning, 5, so I got up, set my alarm at 6:15 a.m. Actually woke up at 6:13 a.m. Again, my body clock's pretty good that way. Before alarm just a safety net. So I got up then, got myself ready, had everything prepared the night before. That's something that's important as well in terms of a tip. If you have a race, be prepared, have everything ready. Don't have yourself stressed the morning of. Like I set up my transition area the day before, but anything I need to bring with me that morning, I had it ready the night before, so I could just grab it. So don't add any unnecessary stresses. So I got up, did a bit of stretching, again, focus. It was all the time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, focusing on what I wanted to achieve, see what I wanted to achieve, knew the times I wanted. So I was zoning in on that all the time, from especially Saturday night onwards, and in my dreams and when I woke up Sunday morning. My my pre-race meal was just porridge and some banana. Again, nothing too heavy. Had that about 6:45 before I left. So I was, what was that, 2 hours before, because that was enough, as well as with the carb loading I'd done a few days before, where I'd eaten a bit more food overall, but especially carbohydrate-based foods, so that there was enough in my system. So I didn't have to be eating loads that morning or right before the race, because again, that's a bit of a myth that's out there. You need to be eating right up to the race start so that you have enough fuel in you, or eating a load throughout the race. You don't. Short enough distance, depending how fit you are, it's anything from 2 hours for the winners to maybe 4 hours for those who may be doing it for first time or less fit. So it's not massively long. So it is something you can do without any nutrition during it. Like I fueled myself for this particular triathlon on a liter of water during it, and a naked bar, half a naked bar. That's all I actually had, and that was when I just got off the bike, because I felt I needed something just before my run. So anyway, got to town, in the transition area, getting ready. Then we had to go out and get ready at the dock to get into the water, and for an 8:45 start. So I was there at the dock then about 8:35, just getting ready. Again, mentally prepared as much as anything. That's where it boils down to. You can train all you want, but on race day, if you're not mentally tuned in, if you let your mind slip, you're finished. So all that can go to waste. Now, I set my target before the race to get 30 minutes in the swim, an hour and 15 or so in the cycle, and a 50-minute run, and transitions to take about 5 minutes. At the end of the race, that would have been about 2:42. One time, I done a 2:42. So that was 2 minutes slower than what I aimed for overall, but I was really, really happy because I had got a 29-minute 33 swim, so that beat my target. I got an hour 15 and I think 16 seconds for the cycle, which basically was my target, and I got a 47-minute 40-second run, which smashed my target of 50 minutes. My biggest problem was the transitions took me nearly 10 minutes. I was quite slow in terms of getting off my wetsuit and then getting on my cycle top because I hadn't brought a towel, so it was all wet, and trying to get that on, then it was sticking and it took forever. So, 10-minute transition. So 2:42 meant that, I had done really, really well considering that. And I know that's easy time for me to knock off. And even getting a tri-suit, a few other little things, I know are going to speed up my transitions to get into maybe 3 minutes or something overall. So I was absolutely delighted in an actual real race, in the cycle and the run. And I know I can improve them further, and I know I can improve the transition. So, I'm really happy with it. And as I said, this means a lot to me. And 2:42 I was absolutely delighted with. Good at. I was worried about my goggles because I had been starting to leak water. Trained beforehand, but it worked out good. There's lots of jellyfish there, and it was weird swimming in a dock. But it was okay. I was happy with how the swim went. Cycle, really happy with it. It was 4 laps of a particular circuit. It was up and down, so felt strong on it. But as I've shared in previous vlogs, power there. I just haven't done enough weight training in the off season. So the next 4 weeks, I've 8 weeks of training up to my next triathlon before an active rest week of it. But for 4 weeks, I'm going to do more strength training, try to get more power into my legs, because I felt there was more there, but just it wasn't there to activate. But I have the potential there. So cycle was great, but once I got off the bike, I started for about 5K. I was starting to feel burnt out. I think I went a bit hard in the first 20K, which I did in 35 minutes. So I think I just pushed myself a little bit hard. But when I got off it, I was struggling to run. And I have to be honest, in the first minute or so, I was almost going to give up. I was very tempted to at least just walk. It crossed my mind to actually give up, but that was only a fleeting thought, because no way I was going to give up after doing the swim and the cycle and all the training I'd done. But definitely I was thinking all the time, look, I've done great so far, did good swim, good cycle, let's just finish it out. But I managed to keep going, and there was one guy struggling, and I said to him, 1 foot in front of the other. I just said that to him to encourage him, and obviously as it came out of my mouth, and so look, just keep doing the same. You're telling this guy to keep 1 foot in front of the other, then you just do the same. And I went through it and got through it and crossed the finish line eventually. Up at the 7K, it was a struggle. Once I hit 7K, I knew I was there. I was going to get through it. And when I saw my time of 47:48 or something, I was astonished, because I thought surely it must be about way over 50, because I felt like I was going quite slow. And as I said, it was a struggle. So, it was a tough race in some ways, but very satisfying, and race in other ways, and very fulfilled from it. And the last couple of days now, I've taken it easy, rested my body. It's important in this phase, rest and recover. And then today is Wednesday, sorry. So I've just started back doing some training today. I'll cover that in my next vlog in terms of what I do this week, because I do the next one most likely on Sunday. But main thing was, active rest leading up to it, morning of, fuel up, and fuel up the night before. No need to have huge amounts of foods just before it or even during it, maybe just a quick snack, and then fuel up a lot afterwards. Okay, so happy out, as I said, happy with this. If you have any questions or comments about triathlon or any endurance, put them below, or veganism even, because it's all tied together. Remember, my mission with this vlog is, one, for me to be held accountable to you by sharing my journey towards the Ocean Lava Triathlon October 16th and about achieving my goal, but also to destroy some myths for you, to also show what we achieved in a plant-based lifestyle when one is pushing their body to just kind of educate you a bit more on training principles and nutrition and everything like that. So that's why, if you put your questions or comments below the video, I can help you and I can answer your questions. Make sure you share this, again, help to get this out there. The more people who can see this, the more people it can help. So please share it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, or if you happen to be watching this on Facebook, like the page. But just please help us get this out there more, and as well make sure to check us out across all social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, the whole lot. Share different stuff on each, and everything to do with exercise and nutrition and motivation, all these different areas, and about my own triathlon journey. So I hope that was useful to you and you found some benefit in this video, this latest vlog, vlog number 11, the plant-based athlete. Look forward to speak to you for vlog number 12, most likely on Sunday. And as I questions and comments from below the video. Take care and keep taking positive action.